The waiter who changed a homeless man's life. Chapter 1. An unusual guest. In a small restaurant in the United States, a waiter named Mike had been noticing the same man for several days. He was an older gentleman with graying, slightly unkempt hair, an unshaven face, and worn-out clothes. Every day he would come in but never order food. The only thing he asked for was a glass of water. At first, Mike didn't think much of it. People often came in just to rest or escape the heat. But as the days passed, he began to see a pattern. The man would arrive at roughly the same time, sit by the farthest window, slowly drink his water, and remain seated as if waiting for something. Mike's co-workers paid no attention to him. Some grumbled that people like him only took up space and scared away customers, while others joked, he's just waiting for someone to give him free food. But Mike thought differently. There was something about this man. He didn't seem aggressive or suspicious. He never begged, never asked for money, and always thanked the staff for the water. One day, when the man came in and took his usual seat, Mike decided to approach him and start a conversation. "Hello," he said, placing the glass of water in front of him. "I see you come here often. Can I ask why?" The man looked up, clearly surprised that someone was speaking to him. "I just come to rest," he said quietly. "It's warm and peaceful here." "Have you been on the streets for a long time?" Mike asked cautiously. The man sighed and looked away. "Yes, a long time. I used to live around here. I had a home, a family, a job. Then everything fell apart." Chapter 2. A story full of pain. The man introduced himself as Tom. He explained that he once had an ordinary life. He worked in construction, had a small but cozy home, and was even married. But then everything changed. An accident at work left him with a severe leg injury. He spent months recovering, but the pain never fully went away. Because of it, he couldn't work the way he used to. Forced to leave his job, he started relying on painkillers, which soon turned into an addiction. Slowly, he lost everything: his job, his home, and eventually his wife. One day, he came back to find the house empty. She had left, leaving only a note. "I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore." Since then, Tom had been living on the streets, surviving on small jobs when he could find them, and sleeping in shelters or wherever he could. Mike listened in silence, letting Tom speak. He realized that this man had once lived a life similar to millions of others. He wasn't born homeless. He wasn't a criminal. A series of unfortunate events had simply left him with nothing. "If you had a second chance, what would you do?" Mike suddenly asked. Tom hesitated. "I would start over," he finally said. "I'd work again, even for a small salary. I don't need much, just a roof over my head and a purpose." Chapter 3. A second chance. That night after his shift, Mike couldn't stop thinking about Tom's story. He wanted to help but didn't know how. Giving him money wouldn't solve anything. It would only help for a day. Then an idea came to him. The next day, when Tom returned for his glass of water, Mike sat across from him and said, "I have an offer for you. If you want, you can work here. Not as a waiter, but we're always looking for someone to wash dishes. The job is simple, but it would give you some money." Tom froze. "Are you serious?" "Yes. If you do well, maybe you can find something better later. But I want you to know, I believe in you." For a long moment, Tom said nothing. Then for the first time since they met, he smiled, a small, uncertain smile. The next day, he arrived at the restaurant's back entrance, ready to start his new job. Chapter 4. From dishwasher to waiter. The job was tough. standing for hours, washing hundreds of plates, bowls, and glasses. At first, it was difficult. Tom wasn't used to working at such a fast pace, and his body struggled to keep up. But he never complained. He knew this was his only chance. A month passed, and the restaurant manager took notice. Tom was punctual, hardworking, and never caused any trouble. "You're doing a good job," the manager said one day. "How would you like to try working as a waiter's assistant?" Tom was shocked. "Do you think I can do it?" "I know you can. You've already proven you're willing to work. Now let's see what else you can do." And so Tom became an assistant waiter. At first, he was nervous about talking to customers, but with his co-workers' help, he slowly gained confidence. Chapter 5: A New Beginning. A year passed. Tom was no longer homeless. With his first paycheck, he rented a small room in a cheap motel. A few months later, he saved enough to rent a tiny apartment. He was part of society again. Looking at him now, Mike felt a sense of pride. One simple act of kindness had changed someone's life. Not money, not pity, but an opportunity. "Thank you," Tom said one day. "Without you, I'd still be out there on the street." "It wasn't me, Tom," Mike smiled. "It was you. I just showed you a door, but you walked through it." Tom nodded, knowing that his life was finally moving forward. Moral of the story: this story is a reminder that we all have the power to change someone's life. Sometimes it doesn't take wealth or status. It just takes giving someone a chance. Homelessness isn't always a choice. Many people on the streets have faced tragedies, losses, and struggles beyond their control. But as long as there are kind-hearted people willing to extend a hand, there will always be hope. So next time you see someone in need, ask yourself, could you be the one to change their fate?